Hello YouTube, welcome to today's reaction. Today we're reacting to Obsession is Way Darker Than You Think. You know what I'm saying? If you have not seen the movie, get out, go to a theater, go see that shit ASAP. It's been on my brain. I seen this shit like 2 or 3 days ago. For the first time, it was on my brain. I literally seen it at home the first time. The second time I went to a theater. I had to go experience that in cinema. You know what I'm saying? I had to. It's one of those movies, like a movie that hasn't gotten me, movies in general have gotten me to think the way this movie has got me to think. And it's not just your typical horror movie. I think actually what makes the horror so good about it is just because it's not like your crazy demonic, well, depends on who's theory, because some fan theories have this theory that it is a possession movie. Some fans have this theory that it's not a possession movie. It's just a result of what you get when you get literally what you ask for. Literally. So, yeah, we got to dive in and we got to see why Obsession is way darker than you think. Let's tap in.
Obsession, the brand new horror movie. In this video, we will be diving straight into its deeper themes and symbolism. There will be spoilers. Let us begin. The premise is so simple, but what emerges from it is one of the deepest descents into darkness that I have ever witnessed on a cinema screen. Baron, or Bear as he's known, fancies Nikki, and he gets an opportunity to ask her out. His friend Ian is egging him on. Even Nikki herself is nudging him to ask the question.
Nikki, wait, I was gonna ask you,
What?
I lost my train of thought.
And that's one of the things from the beginning of the movie that pisses me off about I understand the character Bear, right? A lot of people give him shit because he's the true villain. If there is one, if you want to classify it as that, he is the true villain of the movie. But at the same time, he's just the epitome of a guy who's, for lack of better terms, a coward. And I don't mean that to insult his character. Some people think he deserves it. I just think he's for what the character is and the person that he is. Yes, he's a coward. Yes, he's timid. Yes, he's shy. He doesn't have the confidence to come out and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, this movie wouldn't even been a fucking movie if she just said, Bear, if you like me, now is the time to tell me. Tell her. That's been your plan all along. Since the beginning of the movie, this is what you've been working up to. Tonight is the night, remember? So I just feel as though you got to understand the character. He's timid. He's shy. He doesn't have the confidence. He's losing things in his life. At this point, he lost his grandma. He just lost his cat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be my most confident self in a moment like this when I know I've had a crush on a person and I know that I've been facing loss and I know this is not something else that I want to lose. I don't want to lose another thing. I have it in my life at some capacity, at limited capacity. I have it in my life. You know what I'm saying? Even if we're not together, we're friends. We go out to trivia night. We hang out outside of work. We get drinks together. We work together. Until she says that she want to put in her 2 weeks. But it's like, I understand his positioning at this moment. You got to put yourself in his shoes. He does not want to lose another thing, especially something that he cares so passionately about. That's what he thinks. He thinks he cares.
What else? Why?
But he finds himself unable to ask. Cursing himself as Nikki walks away from his car and towards her house, he takes out his One Wish Willow, a novelty toy that he bought at an occultic store, and that's when he makes his one wish.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
And then he snaps the stick.
And you got to understand, in the context of the movie, right? Put yourself in his shoes. Like, when I'm speaking in defense of him and in defense of his character, I want y'all to put yourself in his shoes. At this point in time in the movie, it's the beginning. There's no good person. There's no bad person. There's just a desperate guy in a car who he can't utter the words to communicate how he feels to this lady. He just can't. I don't know why he can't. Well, I just told you why. But it's just like, he can't do it. So out of desperation, this is not gonna work. This is just like a little gimmick. This is something that I bought for her, but I was too afraid to give it to her because it seems cheesy. And I'm tripping over myself. I'm pissed at myself because I just can't utter the words. I can't get them out. You know what I'm saying? No matter when I'm trying, this woman she looks so good in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? She's his perfect version of a woman that he thinks that he wants. And he just can't bring himself into just saying the words, I like you. I don't know why, but he can't. Well, we know why. But anyways, so when he makes this wish, he's not literally saying, I'm making this wish because I want her to be obsessed with me and only me. I don't want her to love nothing else in this world but me. He's making this wish as it's like a satire thing. Like literally, that's how I took it. It's satire. I obviously, like, if I was to get this wish, I wouldn't want her to be super duper obsessed with me to the point where she's shitting and pissing on my floor. Reference to the movie if you've seen it. But it's like, I just want her to like me. That's all I want. I want her to like me. I want her to be with me. I want her to see me. I want her to reciprocate the feelings that I think that I'm feeling for her.
Well, it's a classic case of be careful what you wish for, because this ritual is devastatingly effective. Or is it? We'll get to that. It seems to possess Nikki's body with a spirit, or a doppelganger, with an insatiable desire to be united to Bear. And the torment that this brings about actually expresses something of the biblical understanding of judgment. You see it in Romans 1. God's judgment on humanity, in our fallenness, in our rejection of him, is to hand us over to our wicked desires. It turns out that getting what we want in our fallen state is hellish. Of course, the Bible doesn't end there. There is a light shining in the midst of that darkness. There is a saviour. In the film, what unfolds is incredibly bleak. It's an out-and-out tragedy, but I think it leaves us with a longing for something more. The occultic store where Bear purchases the One Wish Willow is called the Green Man. In modern New Age circles, the Green Man has become regarded as a pagan fertility symbol. But actually going further back in time, the Green Man has been a prominent symbol in Christian
Is this a literal store? I did not know it if it is. I didn't know this was a real store.
art and architecture. In the medieval...
And I just want to say, side note, this is why you don't want to be freaking with all these crystals and these things that I don't care if y'all think is real, fake, or whatever. You never want to open up the possibilities of changing your, you know what I'm saying, changing your eternity plans. You know what I'm saying? What God has planned for you is what he has planned for you, whether you believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? That's just my beliefs. But I just don't think it's smart to take it into your own hands and you try to use something like a One Wish Willow to change not just your life but other people's lives, and you messing with the divine. You messing with the divine at that point. I don't think the universe and the you know what I'm saying, what's that word I'm looking for? The universe and the I mean, if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. But you just don't want to be messing with these different realities. There you go. Alternate realities, the main realities, messing with other people's destinies by fucking saying wishes and stuff. That's just, to me, that's just weird. You never want to do that, because then if you do it the wrong way, you mess up your life and other people's lives, and it just gets nasty.
Collection of tales, The Legend of the Rood. There is an intriguing story of Seth burying his father Adam, the first human being. According to the story, while Adam was dying, Seth placed 3 seeds under his tongue. These sprouted and grew into a tree, nourished by Adam's decaying corpse, and the wood from that tree was used to make the cross on which Jesus, known as the second Adam, was crucified. So the Green Man, however it's appropriated nowadays, is a Christ-haunted symbol. The possibility of curse being lifted, of life coming from death, hangs in the air for much of the movie, and we as an audience, as we continue this blistering descent into darkness, our yearning for resolution alongside the characters grows ever stronger. Anyway, Bear visits this shop, the Green Man store, rather aimlessly. At first he's looking for some crystals which might help to provide good vibes with Nikki. But then he happens to notice something else, a box of One Wish Willows, and he buys one on a whim. There's this writing on the box. The front says, "One Wish Willow, amaze your friends, you only get one wish." And the back says, "Spark the middle and break in half. Usage, open the package to a magical jingle and a fun pop surprise. Hold the One Wish Willow gently, break it in half and state your wish clearly. Wait up to 24 hours for your wish to come true. Disposal. After granting your wish, the One Wish Willow loses its magical properties." Now that's fascinating. The text implies that you should state your wish before breaking the stick in half. but Bear states his wish and then breaks the stick. It's a subtle detail, and I'm not saying that everything would have panned out okay if Bear had only followed the exact order on the box, but it's notable nonetheless. On the right hand side of the box we can just about see that the company is called Tabby Cat Curiosities. That of course has personal resonance for Bear because the film begins with his cat Sandy dying after getting into a bottle of oxycodone, a highly addictive painkiller. There's even a website listed above the logo, www.tabbycatcuriosities.com. I tried going to the website by the way, but it didn't work. And beneath the logo, the box says, "Contact us if you have any problems or questions with your One Wish Willow products. Please contact our customer service number at 1323-747-7118. We're here to help." Shall we see what happens if we actually call that phone number? I haven't tried this. It's ringing.
Does bro have a pager in the big 2026? Nah, that's hard. I'm not gonna lie. A retro that might be the move to separate ourselves from this crazy state of the world that we live in and try to like lower our screen time as a people. You know what I'm saying, let's take a step back. I'll step back from the iPhones and the smartphones and all that. Let's just walk around with the OG flip phones and the pagers and stuff like that.
Hey, you've reached the One Wish Willow hotline. Unfortunately, we're not liable for any unintended things that might have happened to you or your loved ones. That includes property damages, psychological distress, emotional trauma, extreme personality changes, deeply disturbing displays of love, bodily harm, death, or anything resembling possession and stuff like that. It's all there in the fine print, but maybe you didn't read it. Most people don't. If you need further assistance, well, I hope you can find it because there's not much I can really do. Good luck.
Oh my goodness, it works. That is a phenomenal bit of marketing. I imagine it just goes through to the answer phone every time you call it, but still. On the subject of the phone number, I might be wrong about this. I need to check when the film comes out on streaming, but when Bear rings the helpline, I'm almost certain that he dials a different number to the one that's on the back of the box. If I remember rightly, he actually dials something like 10234567. I might be wrong about that, but I was watching the cinema screen quite carefully, and that's what my brain took in. If it turns out to be wrong, obviously disregard this section of the video, but if I'm right, that would be another intriguing departure from what's written on the box, contributing to this sense that we as an audience can't be entirely sure of what we're seeing. The box is naive and playful in its packaging. The reality is much worse. On the subject of consecutive numbers, it's notable that when Bear wakes up in the middle of the night, and Nicky starts acting really creepily, the time he wakes up is 3:45 AM. Many have noted that this time might be a reference to the witching hour. Some Christian traditions have regarded 3 AM as the devil's hour because it's an inversion of 3 PM, which is traditionally believed to be the time that Christ died on the cross. So the film might be picking up on some of those things. On this channel, I discuss film from a theological perspective because I genuinely believe that the Bible describes reality and helps to unveil layers of meaning in these movies, whether that's intentional on the part of the filmmakers or not. I often get comments saying things like, "I'm not a Christian, but I watch this channel to hear a Christian perspective on film," and I'm so grateful for that. If you yourself would like to find out more about this perspective I'm speaking from, I can't think of a better online course than 321. I might be buying 321. It's right now, email 21 course back to explicit, but I think there are multiple signs that Nicky is demonically possessed in this movie. Whatever it is, it functions in that manner.
And I want to touch on that too as well, because a lot of people, like I said in the beginning of the video, they come to this conclusion, especially the director of the movie too. Sorry, I'm thinking too fast for my mouth. The director of the movie as well, he said he doesn't want people to think of it as a possession movie. And that's kind of where I'm playing tug of war with the fact that, yes, like obviously he's the director, so I gotta see it from his point of view as he directed the movie, as he intended it to be seen, as he intended it to be interpreted. But that's the beautiful thing about movies is It's always up to the viewer's interpretation. However you see the movie is however you see it. However you digest it is however you digest it. So it's kind of hard for me to always just lean one way and not lean the other way. Some people thinks there's no way this movie is not a demonic possession movie. It's no way. If you see how she acted, if you see how she carried herself, the actions that she took to maintain this feeling of love, the things that she did, the things that she said, how she did it, how she act, her movements, how sporadic, you know what I'm saying? Some moments she got up and just start walking backwards and talking backwards. The instant character changes. But then there's the director's idea and some people's idea where they say it's not a demonic possession. It's not like something unholy taking over her, like a witch or something. It's just, this is how a person acts when you take away their free will and you replace that with, I want this person to love me more than anyone in the world. So this is like, at what lengths, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that a lot of people struggle with that ideology of it, because I believe a lot of people haven't felt true love to that extent. Like, you love somebody to the point where you cannot breathe without them. You can't function without them. You know what I'm saying? They become your life. They become the sole meaning of your existence. I don't believe humans are wired to love that hard. So when a person wishes for another person to love them that way, it's almost physically impossible. Like, I believe that can almost break somebody. And that's what you literally saw. You saw a person throughout a movie try their best to love somebody who wished for that, but then once they started getting what they wished for, it becomes too much. It becomes too overbearing. And they start to reject it. And the fact that you're rejecting that person's love, it breaks them. So you're starting to see like a person spiraling. All right, so what if I do this, will they love me? If I start acting like his cat, the thing that he seemed to have loved, the thing that loved him, maybe he starts loving me. If I knock off Sarah and take her skull off and wear it and then put on her outfit and cover myself in Sharpie marker to mimic her tattoos, the guy, maybe he might love, like, the character that he made the wish for is grasping at every single straw, doing every little thing possible just to fulfill her obligation, because that became her obligation. He wished that over her. So she knows nothing else other than trying to pursue Bear's love. Oh my God, we're cooking. We're cooking right now. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. I'm telling you. When I watched the movie the first time, I don't just watch movies to watch them. Like, I dissect them. I think about them. I put myself in everybody's shoes. That's what you gotta do. Some movies you just watch to enjoy, but if you watching something for a second time, you gotta really, you know what I'm saying, put yourself in that life.
Immediately after Bear makes the wish, Nikki starts acting very strangely. Her obsession with Bear quickly becomes otherworldly. She moves in with him, she makes a bizarre indoor memorial for his dead cat, she watches him sleep, she gaffer tapes his front door to make it harder for him to leave, and when he prizes that door open, she just stands there waiting for him to return. That's so creepy, that building sense of dread as Bear does his day of work, and then how will he find her when he returns home? Will she have changed even more? While he's at work, he opens the packed lunch that Nikki has made for him, and inside are 2 Polaroid photos. The top one is a photo of Bear with a heart and the caption, "You." The second photo depicts both of them lying next to each other, and the caption chillingly says, "Not me." And that's a sign that the real Nikki is trying to signal to Bear. The Nikki who is obsessing over him is not the real Nikki. The real Nikki is trapped somewhere within.
And my thing is, right, because I understood that when I first seen it too, and said you and not me. Obviously, she's trying to give signs that this is not me. I'm not acting myself. I'm stuck. Like, help me. Like, I'm doing anything possible. The real Nikki is, I'm just doing anything possible to show you, to tell you that this is not me. This is not us. This is not normal. Help me. I'm stuck. But at the same time, I never really understood how does, like, because obviously real Nikki, it shows in the movie, real Nikki is able to communicate, is able to, you know what I'm saying, to some sort of take over the host body when Wish Nikki is asleep, when Wish Nikki is unconscious, I probably want to say. So in order for her to pack the lunch and then take the pictures and write on the pictures, Wish Nikki has to be conscious. She has to be mobile. She has to be awake. So how does real Nikki, how does she take over and write these messages? That's my thing. I don't understand. I didn't understand that part.
The sandwiches in the lunchbox are filled with the meat of Bear's deceased cat, Grim. Is that the sort of thing that a person who genuinely loves Bear would do? No. It's bizarre. It's disturbing. It's a form of torment. I think throughout this film we are seeing a demon's torment masquerading as being in love with Bear. A demon can keep up the act to some degree, but the mask slips quite catastrophically in a lot of places.
Does your dad really have cancer?
No. 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 No.
What?
No. 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 Don't do that!
Bear is beginning to panic, so he calls the help.
See, and around this time, it's like a lot of people are saying this is not a demonic possession movie. This is the Latina woman, like you date a Latina woman experience. This is it. You know what I'm saying? All of you love these Hispanic women. You love them, right? This is what you sign up for. This is life with them. This is eternity. This is your future. You know what I'm saying? This is what a lot of people are saying. It's like, all right, I get it. I get you. I understand it.
Line on the back of the box. And like the staff that we encounter at the Green Man's store, the person on the other end of the line is worryingly laid back. He sounds bored.
What's up?
I was calling to see if there's a way I can alter a wish.
Like to cancel your wish?
No. It's okay to keep the... I just want to know if I can, like, alter it a little.
I'm sorry, we don't really do that.
No?
If you have any questions about how the wish works, or if you read the back of the box.
Is it even real?
Yeah, it's real.
No, I know that is her love real?
Just because you chose this for her doesn't make it less real.
Oh, that is a chilling line, isn't it? And Bear will come to see that it's a lie. The obsessive love for him that is being expressed through Nikki's body is not genuine. It's demonic.
But no, I don't think it's not real. Like what the guy told, just because you chose this for her does not make it any less real. That's 100% real. Now, I think it like this. If Bear, once he made the wish and he started getting what he's wishing for, like they showed you the beginning stages of that relationship forming, and it was good on both ends. I don't think crazy stuff was happening. But then once he started realizing that it was overbearing, like most people can't take that. You know what I'm saying? Most people find that constant love and constant affection and constant just somebody wanting to be around you and up under you and in your space. A lot of people can't deal with that. That's something that's really, really hard for a person to just sit within that. So once he started rejecting her love, that's when she started crashing out. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. So I feel as though the love would have continued perfectly if Bear would have just been the thing for Nikki that he wished for her to feel for him. That would have been good. There was no reciprocation. There was no true affection. There was no true love. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like the premise of the movie is Bear wished for Nikki to love him more than anything in the world, but the reality is he never even loved her. He loved the idea of her. He just didn't want to be alone. So the first person that was nice to him, that talked to him when his nana passed, that the person that can be semi-vulnerable with him, that's what he just latched himself onto. And he was latching himself onto that idea because the moment that he got the full Nikki at you know what I'm saying, loved you more than anybody in the world, loved you more than she was willing to even freaking take care of herself while you were out at an 8-hour shift at your job. You know what I'm saying? That's what you asked for, but it goes to show that he never really wanted that. I believe that is real. It is real.
Therefore, it's not love. It's a fleshly, all-consuming addiction. That's what Bear has unleashed. It's also on this phone call that Bear learns how he can break the curse.
So she's just stuck like this forever?
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as you live.
As long as I live?
And then something even more disturbing happens. The man on the other end of the line offers Bear an opportunity to speak to Nikki. We hear her anguished screams over the phone line. Is that the real Nikki? The one who has been imprisoned and suppressed by Bear's wish? Perhaps. At Ian's house party, Nikki silences everyone through a dark, incestuous retelling of Hansel and Gretel. So it's really weird. It's about Gretel seducing Hansel, basically. Again, it's so carnal. It's pure, self-centered obsession, not self-giving love. And it ends with Gretel saying, "Hansel is my soul, a love that only the branch of a willow tree could conjure."
A love only the branch of a willow tree could conjure.
And that line is delivered knowingly to Bear. I think the demon knows exactly what's going on. It's tormenting the real Nikki, suppressing her, and it's also tormenting Bear. The party ends with Nikki stabbing herself in the face with a broken bottle. Is that the real Nikki, piercing through, desperate for her torment?
Nah, at that point of the movie, like a lot of people have different viewpoints on it, but I think at that point of the movie, real Nikki was so close to being able to take control. She I wouldn't say take control, but she it's not me. It's not me. Like she's getting more power to fight Wish Nikki, and in order for Wish Nikki to maintain, you know what I'm saying, to maintain control host of the body, to stay that, you know what I'm saying, stay in that obsessed mode with Bear, she was willing to do harm to herself. She's willing to hurt herself. Wish Nikki doesn't feel pain, probably like real Nikki does, because real Nikki is a human, and Wish Nikki is just a figment of obsession. So maybe she doesn't feel pain, but it's also weird. Like I said, a lot of these factors, they point to demonic possession. They really do, because a normal girl, no matter how much she loves you, is not going this hard. But at the same time, this is not a normal girl. This is not a normal situation. This is somebody wishing for you to that's like extreme love. You know what I'm saying? Extreme love.
And to end, probably because later that night, when Bear gets out of bed, Nikki is asleep. And in that state, we seem to get another moment of the real Nikki piercing through. She begs Bear to take her life, to release her from this torment. And this moment reminds me a bit of The Exorcist. When the young possessed girl Regan is asleep, the priests find the words "help me" engraved onto her belly. That sense of the real Regan who has been suppressed by the demon, piercing through, crying out for help. And a key dimension of the film is that the protagonist, Bear, is actually a really horrible character. He says to the real Nikki something like, "It's not so bad being with me."
Now, at that point of the movie, right, where real Nikki does gain some sort of consciousness, she's able to speak words. She says, "Please kill me." She's asking him to help, like, take my life. Like, at that point, I do see both sides. Like, this is where Bear really shows his face. This is where you can classify him as a truly bad guy, because he was like, what's so bad about being with me? And she was like, I was never with you, Bear. Like, all those times that we were together, that was not me. Like, and you got to think about it. They're in a relationship, a consenting relationship in his perspective, but it was never really consenting. It was never, this is not her doing. You wish this for her. So everything that y'all have experienced as a couple, that couples do, like these date nights, these, like, you're getting intimate, all that stuff, that was never me. You know what I'm saying? I was never with you, and that hurt his soul. You can tell it did. But it's just like, at that point, prior to that happening, you know what I'm saying? Even with the wish and everything happening, like I said, I believe that was, in his perspective, it was satire. He didn't 100%. Now, if he 100% knew that him making that wish was going to be a real thing, like, all right, I couldn't get her on my own merit, I'm going to make this wish knowing that it's 100% guaranteed that she's going to be obsessed with me, bro. Like, at that point, then it's different. But this is where he truly shows his face as a bad guy. Truly.
Is it? And then he leaves the room. part of him wants to keep this going. He doesn't love the obsessive version of Nikki. He's scared of that, obviously. But equally, he doesn't want to listen to the real Nikki. What he really wants is someone in between, which again would be a figment of his imagination, a fantasy. The car scene is truly shocking. Bear and Sarah share a genuine moment of connection. She's this figure who has quietly loved him all this time, and Bear starts to recognize that and possibly even reciprocate it. But
I wouldn't even say that you know what I'm saying? I believe the character that Bear is, he's one of those guys that, like, you know them. Maybe you're them. I've been him before, where like you fall in love or you fall in like with the idea of somebody. And then say if you don't get that, or if you do get that, you start to realize maybe it was just the idea. Maybe I don't genuinely like this person. Maybe I don't truthfully like this person. And then the next shiny object comes along and you fall in love with that idea. Like Bear is that character that just falls in love with the idea of people and not them. You know what I'm saying? There's tons of people that do. I believe everybody has done it at some point in their life where they fall in love with a figment of imagination, the possibilities, the potential. This is what we could be. This is what that person could be. And I love them for that, or I like them for that. But you don't never truly like them, because the moment that you get to know them, it goes either left or right. Either you convince yourself, right, like, okay, I do like this person. They're everything I turned out to be. But in most realities, it's 100% the 180. You know what I'm saying? They're nothing like what you thought they would be. They're nothing like what you thought their potential could be. It just is what it is.
But at that moment, the possessed Nikki arrives to...
But I don't think they would have worked either. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't think... if Bear had the cojones, the nuts, the balls, the testicles to sit... When Nikki first asked him, if you like me, this is not the time to tell me. A lot of people don't know if real Nikki liked him, and that's the beauty of it, because you never will know, because everything that transpired. But I believed real Nikki would have gave him a shot. All you had to do was be a man. Like just out of all the times, all the interactions, we kind of have some mutual respect for how deep we get with each other. We can be vulnerable with each other. We like hanging out with each other. We like being around with each other. Why wouldn't I give you a chance? All you have to do is just be a man. Say, yes, I like you. Yes, I would love the chance to explore something with you. It's easier said than done, because obviously a lot of people fear rejection. And like I said, at that point in Bear's life, he's been losing. He lost his grandma. He lost his cat. He's about to lose somebody that his co-worker, somebody that he likes spending time with, somebody that he has feelings for. He just doesn't want to lose, and he feel like he might risk that relationship by being truthfully honest with what he wants.
Smash Sarah's head with a brick. It's deeply traumatic to watch. But when he gets home, things are truly out of control. The house has been turned into this horrifying shrine. Sarah's corpse has been placed on a chair, and all her clothes have been removed. Nikki is now wearing them. That sense of trying to steal the love for Sarah that Bear might have had and claim it for herself. This brings us to the ending. Bear locks himself in the bathroom. He tries to kill himself with a gun, but finds himself unable to do it. So he then reaches for the oxycodone pills, the ones that killed his cat. Is this a redemptive, heroic final act? Is he choosing to sacrifice his life in order to set Nikki free?
And no, and that's where I think that's where Bear dug himself in so much of a pile of a big hole. Let's just say that he dug himself in such a hole. The character in which Bear is a coward, so that's what he takes the coward way out. He was about to blow his brains out. That would have been quicker. You know what I'm saying? But he cowards out of that, and he takes the pills, and then he instantly tries to force himself to throw up. And I think it would have worked, but Wish Nikki, who found another one wish willow that he brought to her because he was going to make her make a wish to make herself snap out of it, but the damage was already done. It was already done. Ian is dead. Sarah is dead. Nikki is like torn up in the face and bloodied. Bear is all blood, like everything is just bad. So in order to escape the situation, he takes the coward's way out, and it would have worked. He would have made himself throw up. He would have still been alive, but wished Nikki made another wish for him to love her as hard as she loved him. So in the final scene, that's why they're so, you know what I'm saying, you finally see two beings at peak love, for lack of a better term, literally peak love. However, as hard as you can love somebody as humanly possible, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. This whole thing is messed up. This video was long. We got stuff we got to do. We got other stuff we got to react to. It's your boy RushMoreRick. Like, comment, subscribe. We out of here. If you have not seen the movie, go see it. It's a masterpiece. We out of here.